We had a child on the way, and I had to find work. And I didn't really know what to do. I went to an employment agency. And
for years, Brit Hume has been a towering figure in journalism. Calm, composed, and unwaveringly professional. But behind the camera, beyond the news desk, there's a deeply personal story he's kept out of the public eye. A story about his son. It's something he's rarely spoken about, choosing silence instead of inviting the world into this private part of his life. But that silence has now been broken, and what's been revealed is raw, deeply personal, and painfully human. It's a side of Brit Hume that the world has never seen before, a man grappling with a truth that no one, no matter how composed, can truly prepare for. This is not just another story. It's a glimpse into the complexities of a father's love, a struggle with unimaginable pain, and the toll it can take even on someone who's spent a lifetime under the harsh light of public scrutiny. What he shared has shocked many, leaving an indelible mark on those who thought they knew him, and it's something you simply can't turn away from. Early life and the search for direction. Ever wonder how some people stumble into greatness, almost like fate nudged them along the way? That's Brit Hume's story. A man who started his career without a clue of what he wanted to do, only to become one of the most recognized journalists in American history. Let's rewind to 1943, the year Brit Hume was born on June 22nd. A baby born in Washington, D.C., into a world at war. Fast forward to 1965. Brit graduated from the University of Virginia, proudly holding a degree in English. Now, here's the kicker. He didn't know what to do next. Sounds familiar, right? Many of us have been there, standing on the edge of adulthood, staring into the unknown. Hume wasn't your typical, "I've known my destiny since birth" kind of guy. He didn't even have journalism on his radar. His initial ambition? Non-existent. He tried teaching English, but that door slammed shut. So, what does a man with no plan do when life throws curveballs? He heads to an employment agency. This decision led to a pivotal moment in his life, the kind that seems ordinary at first, but turns extraordinary with time. Falling in love with journalism. The agency found Brit a job as a cub reporter at the Hartford Times. He wasn't passionate about journalism yet, but he needed the paycheck. Little did he know, stepping into that bustling newsroom would change everything. Can you picture it? The clatter of typewriters, cigarette smoke curling in the air, and the shouts of editors demanding copy. It was chaotic, loud, and alive. Brit walked into that room and felt something click. "I knew I was home," he later recalled. That spark ignited his love for the profession. He was hooked. From there, Brit's career began to pick up steam. The Hartford Times was just the beginning. Soon, he found himself moving to other reputable outlets like United Press International and the Baltimore Evening Sun. With each step, he learned, grew, and sharpened his skills. But it was his time working for famed columnist Jack Anderson in the 1970s that truly catapulted him into the national spotlight. Anderson was one of the most influential investigative journalists of the time, and Brit became a key part of his team. Together, they uncovered shocking stories, including the infamous International Telephone and Telegraph scandal, which linked antitrust clearance to donations for the 1972 Republican National Convention. This piece was so explosive that Brit and his family were briefly put under surveillance. Imagine that, living under the watchful eye of the government, all for exposing the truth. It was a dangerous game, but it cemented Brit Hume's reputation as a fearless reporter. Breaking into television journalism. In 1971, Brit published his first book, Death in the Mines, Rebellion and Murder in the United Mine Workers. His talent for storytelling was undeniable, and the industry began to take notice. By 1973, he had transitioned to television journalism, joining ABC News, a move that marked the next big chapter in his life. At ABC, Brit rose through the ranks. He started as a correspondent, covering everything from the House of Representatives to the Senate. Over the years, his assignments grew in prominence. He reported on Walter Mondale's 1984 presidential campaign and George H.W. Bush's 1988 campaign. For 11 years, Brit became a familiar face on Capitol Hill, covering major political events with a sharp eye and a calm demeanor. But here's where the story gets even more compelling. Imagine being chosen to be the chief White House correspondent during some of the most politically charged years in American history. That was Brit's life from 1989 to 1996. He was front and center, reporting on the inner workings of the most powerful office in the world. It was a role that required not just skill, but also grace under pressure. Brit delivered, joining Fox News and creating a legacy. By 1996, after decades at ABC, Brit was ready for a new challenge. Enter Fox News, a rising network that was looking to make its mark. Brit joined the team and quickly became one of its standout stars. 2 years later, in 1998, he launched Special Report with Brit Hume. If you've ever wondered how certain shows become iconic, it's because they capture the zeitgeist of their time. Special Report was no exception. It launched during the Monica Lewinsky scandal, a moment that gripped the nation, and continued to gain traction during the contentious 2000 presidential election. People tuned in not just for the news, but for Brit's measured, no-nonsense approach to delivering it. The show dominated its time slot for years, becoming the #1 cable news program in the 6 p.m. Eastern slot. But after a decade at the helm, Brit decided to step back. In 2008, he handed the reins to Bret Baier and aired his final episode on December 23rd. With characteristic humility, Brit thanked his audience and his team, leaving on a high note. A return to the spotlight. You'd think that would be the end of the story, right? A well-deserved retirement after a career packed with accolades and achievements. But Brit wasn't done yet. In 2016, he stepped in to anchor on the record after Greta Van Sustren's departure. His first episode drew 2.4 million viewers, proof that his appeal hadn't waned. Brit also played a key role in Fox News' 2020 election coverage, joining a star-studded panel of anchors that included Chris Wallace, Juan Williams, Dana Perino, Bret Baier, and Martha McCallum. Together, they navigated one of the most contentious elections in modern history, providing analysis that viewers trusted. So, what's the secret to Brit Hume's staying power? It's not just his skill as a journalist, it's his authenticity. Viewers know they can count on him to present the facts, even when they're uncomfortable or controversial. That level of trust is rare, and it's what sets Brit apart from the crowd. His journey from a directionless college graduate to a titan of journalism is nothing short of remarkable. Along the way, he's faced challenges, controversies, and personal tragedies. But through it all, he's remained steadfast in his commitment to truth, integrity, and faith. Brit Hume's story isn't just about a career. It's about resilience, reinvention, and the power of finding your calling, even when it seems like all hope is lost. It's a reminder that sometimes the best things in life come when we least expect them. So, if you ever feel lost or unsure of your path, take heart. You might just be on the brink of discovering your own newsroom, a place where you belong, a place where you can thrive. Awards and recognition. Brit Hume's career is a masterclass in journalistic excellence, marked by prestigious accolades that highlight his relentless pursuit of the truth. In 1979, he earned television's first Academy Award nomination for The Killing Ground, an investigative documentary that tackled pressing environmental issues with unflinching honesty. This achievement was a rare feat, setting him apart in a field brimming with talent. The accolades didn't stop there. In 1991, Hume's coverage of the Gulf War won him a Primetime Emmy Award. His ability to distill the chaos of war into clear, impactful narratives showcased his extraordinary talent. He was also named Best in the Business by the American Journalism Review for his incisive reporting on the White House, further solidifying his reputation as one of the most respected journalists of his time. Why do some people shine so brightly in their careers? Is it skill, determination, or something more intangible? For Brit Hume, it seems to be all of these, and perhaps a touch of destiny. Controversial comments and public scrutiny. With fame and influence comes scrutiny, and Brit Hume has faced his share. His willingness to share deeply personal convictions has sparked both admiration and criticism. One instance that stirred controversy was his commentary during the Tiger Woods infidelity scandal. Rather than focusing on the scandal's salacious details, Hume expressed hope that Woods would turn to Jesus for guidance and redemption. This unusual perspective drew mixed reactions, with some praising his candidness and others questioning the appropriateness of bringing religion into the discussion. Hume's stance on abortion has also fueled debate. Speaking on the subject, he painted a vivid and often unsettling picture of fetal development, arguing that scientific advancements have increasingly revealed the humanity of unborn children. His words, though heartfelt, ignited strong emotions on both sides of the issue. What drives a person to speak out, knowing they may be criticized for their views? Is it courage, conviction, or a deeper sense of duty to the truth? For Hume, it appears to be all three. While these moments of public scrutiny were challenging, they also revealed a deeper layer of Hume's character. His comments weren't made to provoke, but to share a perspective, shaped by profound life experiences. Experiences that would test anyone's faith and resolve. Personal tragedy. No amount of success or recognition can shield someone from life's harshest blows. For Brit Hume, that blow came in February 1998, when his son, Alexander Britton Sandy Hume, took his own life. Sandy, a promising journalist working for The Hill, had been arrested for impaired driving the night before his death. The following morning, after being released, he returned home and ended his life. This tragedy left Brit shattered. He later described the loss as an amputation of the soul, an emotional and spiritual wound that would never fully heal. "It's as if nighttime descends on your heart," he said, capturing the profound darkness that grief brings. For a man who had spent his life reporting on others' tragedies, this was heartbreak on an unimaginable scale. When Hume returned to his anchor chair after Sandy's funeral, he was met with an outpouring of sympathy. Strangers, colleagues, and friends alike flooded him with letters, prayers, and messages of support. Each letter was a small beacon of light in his darkest days. "I wept over some of them," he admitted, grateful for the kindness of people who shared in his grief. In Sandy's memory, the National Press Club established the Sandy Hume Memorial Award for Excellence in Political Journalism. It's a lasting tribute to a young journalist whose potential was tragically cut short, and a reminder of the enduring impact of his life and work. Can a person ever truly recover from such a loss? Or do they simply learn to carry it, finding strength in their memories and faith? For Brit Hume, the answer lies in his unshakable belief in something greater. Faith in the wake of tragedy. Sandy's death was a turning point for Brit Hume, not just in his personal life, but in his spiritual journey. Before the tragedy, Hume considered himself a nominal Christian, someone who attended church but didn't deeply engage with his faith. But in the aftermath of his loss, he found himself turning to God in a way he never had before. His faith became a lifeline, offering him solace and strength in the face of overwhelming grief. This spiritual awakening transformed Hume's perspective. He became more open about his beliefs, speaking candidly about the role of faith in his life. He also began sharing his faith with others, introducing colleagues like Fred Barnes to Christianity. Together, they formed a journalists' Bible study group, a rare and meaningful endeavor in the often cynical world of media. What compels someone to find faith in their darkest hour? Is it desperation, hope, or the quiet realization that they can't face life's trials alone? For Brit Hume, it was all of these, and more. Hume's renewed faith also influenced his work. He began incorporating his moral and ethical beliefs into his commentary, often at the risk of public backlash. Yet, he remained steadfast, driven by a desire to share what he felt was the ultimate source of hope and healing. The power of resilience. Brit Hume's story is one of remarkable resilience. He has faced extraordinary professional success, personal tragedy, and public scrutiny, all with a steadfast commitment to truth, faith, and integrity. His accolades, though impressive, are only part of his legacy. What truly defines him is his ability to endure, to find meaning in pain, and to use his platform to inspire others. What makes a person truly great? Is it their accomplishments, or the way they rise after falling? Brit Hume's life offers a powerful answer. Greatness lies in both. From the newsroom to the pulpit of public opinion, Brit Hume's journey is a testament to the enduring power of faith and perseverance. His story reminds us that while life's trials can be devastating, they can also lead to profound growth and transformation. Faith as a source of strength. It's often said that the darkest moments in life can lead us to light. For Brit Hume, that moment came in February 1998 when his son, Sandy, tragically took his own life. Imagine receiving a phone call that shatters your world and leaves you questioning everything. What would you hold on to? Brit was plunged into a grief so profound it felt like an endless night. Yet, amid this heartbreak, he discovered a beacon, his faith. Brit had always considered himself a Christian. He grew up attending chapel services daily at St. Albans School and going to church with his family. However, like so many of us, he admitted that his faith was more of a label than a deeply personal connection. It wasn't until he found himself lost in sorrow, mourning the loss of his son, that he truly began to lean on God. In his own words, it was as if the Lord was with him in a way he had never felt before, holding him up when he couldn't stand on his own. Isn't it amazing how, when life pushes us to the edge, the things we once took for granted suddenly become lifelines? Brit's journey wasn't just emotional. It was transformative. He made the decision to be baptized and confirmed in the Episcopal Church, a step that symbolized his renewed commitment to his faith. It was no longer just a part of his identity. It became the core of who he was. The grief he experienced became a catalyst for a deeper, more meaningful relationship with God. But Brit didn't stop there. He felt compelled to share this newfound strength with others. Along with fellow broadcaster Fred Barnes and former football player turned minister Jerry Leachman, Brit co-founded a journalists' Bible study group. They met regularly to discuss scripture and how it could guide them not just in their personal lives, but also in their work. Picture a group of high-profile journalists gathering not to chase headlines, but to chase spiritual truth. Who wouldn't want to be a fly on the wall for those conversations? This group wasn't just about spiritual exploration, it was a support system. In an industry known for cutthroat competition and relentless pressure, Brit and his peers found solace in their shared faith. They even formed a small home church, creating a sacred space where they could worship and grow together. Through this fellowship, Brit became a mentor in faith, quietly helping others navigate their spiritual journeys, much like he had found guidance in his darkest hour. Hume's struggles and faith journey. Brit's wife, Kim, has her own story of faith, a story that's both deeply personal and incredibly inspiring. Kim didn't grow up with the kind of stability that Brit had. She was raised in a household marked by chaos, with both her parents battling alcoholism. By the time she was 14, she was drinking herself, trying to drown out the pain and confusion of her early years. Imagine being a teenager, already carrying the weight of adult-sized problems. How do you survive that? For years, Kim struggled to maintain control over her life. Her breaking point came at age 26. One morning, she woke up too sick to go to work and was overwhelmed by fear. She was terrified that she might lose her job, and worse, that she might lose herself. In that moment of despair, she prayed a desperate prayer, asking God to take her life. But instead of giving up, she sensed a clear answer. No. It was a turning point, a moment of divine intervention that gave her the strength to make a change. Kim fully surrendered herself to God and began the hard work of detoxing from alcohol. She leaned into her faith like never before, finding a sense of purpose and peace that had eluded her for years. Over time, her faith became her foundation, and she dedicated herself to growing spiritually. When Kim and Brit married in 1993, they embarked on a shared journey of faith. Together, they spent a year reading through the Bible, a practice that not only deepened their understanding of Scripture, but also strengthened their bond. Can you imagine what it would be like to explore the depths of faith with your partner, discovering not just God but each other in a whole new way? Kim's transformation didn't stop at personal growth. She felt called to share her experiences and insights with others, leading her to start a faith-based blog. Through her writing, Kim offers encouragement and wisdom to those who might be facing struggles of their own. Her blog is a testament to her resilience and her belief that no one is beyond redemption. Brit often jokes that Kim has lapped him in their spiritual journey, but he says it with admiration and pride. Her commitment to her faith has inspired him to keep growing, to keep reaching for something higher. Together, they've built a partnership rooted in their shared belief in God, a foundation that has helped them weather life's storms and prepare for whatever challenges may come. What are your thoughts on what Brit Hume has revealed? Did this change the way you see him or his journey? Let us know in the comments below. Your perspective matters. If this story resonated with you, make sure to like this video, share it with someone who needs to see it, and subscribe for more insights into the untold stories that shape the lives of the people we think we know. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.